So my thought is this: when Jerome and Augustine both make their claims that this is where precedent has left us, I do think Augustine had near-term precedent. There were churches in North Africa that had already been reading and accepting the deuterocanonical books for quite some time, so that by 397, when he writes down his list of books, he can say there's precedent. But Augustine's precedent doesn't go back very far. When Jerome says that Christians are reading only books tied to the Hebrew canon, I can actually demonstrate this from second century lists, that only the books in the Hebrew canon are operative for the early church. Does that make sense? So that's one way I would try to cut the knot here in terms of the fourth century debate, is to say, well, on the whole, does Jerome have more evidence backing him, or does Augustine have more evidence backing him? Just again, the way the evidence it comes down to us, Jerome's tradition can be established as far back as the first half of the second century AD, whereas Augustine's cannot. In fact, you're scraping and clawing to find citations of these deuterocanonical books from the second century. You just can't. You can find some allusions to them, but there are actually no citations to them, which shows that Christians did not really latch onto them until really the start of the third century, you see, and then you start to see how they might take more of a hold in certain places. So I don't know if that helps, but that's why I think the Protestants are actually right, because their canon can go all the way back to the second century AD.